Oh, oh, Lord have mercy. God forbid. What you looking at? I got what you're looking for. No, I'm not your local vicinity area drug pusher, dope dealer, or makeshift Mexican drug cartel lord, or makeshift Islamic Muslim terrorist, or Mexican drug cartel lord wannabe, or Islamic Muslim terrorist wannabe. I'll have to fish this here sometime. But I'm broadcasting at the moment, so I just have to let it hang. But then, how are you all hanging at the moment? Or rather, should I say, how are you all living? Each and every one of you, being of my social media family, of any subscribers, and or likewise as well, any visitors to that being my own social media channel and our chat room. Keep coming back if you act civilized. But if you continue to misbehave, then could you quit doing that, whoever you are? That, I mean, there's this character, possibly more of the likes of his kind, or her kind, depending on whichever one's gender is. You know, like pops on my channel, there's pops on my YouTube social media channel, Lily and Ashley, for a few minutes. Did I say minutes? No, I'm sorry. What I meant to say, correction. I'm sorry. The weather temps is really doing something to not only my equilibrium, but to my mind. But rather, what I meant to say, as a backtrack here, with no purpose of being, also I go on to follow to continue for where and when that my person that last left off, so I can finish up as incomplete, a former previous prior line, thought, and then saying, since the word. I mean, there's this character, regardless of whichever one's gender is, you know, and for how many more of the likes of his or her kind. Well, I suspect that it's more of a male than a female that does this, you know, or more of a man than a woman. Pops on my channel for literally and actually a few seconds is what I meant to say, correction, and then pops out just as quick, much rather than instead stay for at least a few minutes before one were to pop out, and then from there, hopefully, join the chat room session, you know, or enter into my comment section and not come off as some kind, sort, or such a type of an internet troll, because I do not take a liking to characters as that being who would remind me of the likes of crank callers, stalkers, proverbial neighbors from damn hell, etc. You know, but then some of them could possibly be just that, proverbial neighbors from damn hell, moonlighting as internet trolls, crank callers, and our stalkers, especially for the ones being of whom I presently have for myself, being of the likes of not just the worst, but the worstest of proverbial neighbors from down hell, for a worse neighborhood where I'm at now as a tenant, you know, thanks to one of my last neighbors from damn hell, you know, for a much more preferred neighborhood community for a vicinity area, having managed to flip the script upon me to convince the management of real estate administrative personnel representatives or property owners to give me the walking papers that he should have received. And then, where upon short notice, I'm having to move into this here neighborhood where I'm at now, of one of the worst or one of the worstest ones, to keep from becoming the rank and file of the homeless, you know. Yes. And so much for that conversation. Not that that is the content of the present social media broadcast as we have it here, you know, but rather moving right along and speaking upon some such other matters, because I wish to discuss as and give my feedback or views and opinions upon this rather crazy weather we've been having lately. Whereas I find myself waking up rather late this year, you know, new morning. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be for some such. It's supposed to be my birthday. You know, I was born like so many years later than when the late Führer of Nazi Germany had committed suicide on the same date, April 30th. I'm gonna eat these later. Try to get this cold out of my system. What looks like cold because of these crazy weather temps, as I was saying. Anyway, though, yeah, today is supposed to be for that of a date in question for my birthday, and it fell on a sabbatical Sunday of the weekend. And whereas I have missed church altogether, you know, I missed out on not only a Sunday school class but a religious church service. You know, I was not arriving there at least late, but I missed it altogether. You know, and as I woke up, this morning, and whereas my that being of my place of residence, kind of like felt like sort of like an ice box, some such well that of a nature being of a type. So I was like, whoa, whoa, what the, what is humankind, what is mankind doing to Mother Nature? We're throwing a monkey wrench in her program. Let her do her thing, man. You mad scientists and American astronauts and Russian cosmonauts, the astronauts and cosmonauts themselves, to be compared onto the mad scientists, are breaking the protective shield of the planet Earth as we have it, being of which is commonly called and are known as the ozone layer, to compare onto the big business CEOs own 2 cent power plays as they are depleting the planet Earth's resources as they take away from it, being of this big blue marble in space, and really do not replace anything of it, you know. Yeah, and being of which could possibly be causing so much climate change now, to make our weather temps partly man-made, as they would go about doing so, making it like that in their own right, and have Greta Thunberg screaming practically not possibly her lungs out of her chest, her butt and boobs about to pop like atomic warheads or nuclear missiles screaming at them like she's about to have a Fred Sanford herself. Elizabeth, I'm coming up. Stop attempting to destroy the natural cycle of Mother Nature. Or as they be offsetting the ecological balances of the planet. And whereas certain much more familiar what I mean, certain much more familiar creatures of the animal kingdom or the lesser species are like more of some such of different ones are being added to the extinct creature species of the animal kingdom. Like say for example, you know, Whereas if we don't do something about the habitats of the polar bears and as well the dolphins and what is it, white tigers or African lions and you know what's that other this for some kind of other cat, big cat, then they could become extinct themselves, you know. I mean, we only have this one planet that we live on. Believers and unbelievers or non-believers alike, you know. We can't keep doing this to the planet Earth, you know. We have got to recognize and realize, you know, that this is the only one we have to live on. I don't care what they say according to some kind, sort of type of conspiracy theories that there are other earthlings or humans who have ventured out in space and have traveled to other planets and have set up colonies, like, say, for example, upon Mars, you know. Yeah, I mean, until there's some proof in the pudding, you know what I'm saying? Then check this out. But I think I showed you all this here before during one of my last few social media broadcasts of videos. This comic book about He-Man, supposed so-called master of the universe. It cost me something like 1/3 of a Benjamin, $100, give or take some money. That, I mean, this is hardcover copy, and soft cover, or in a magazine. Speak upon some of such other. Not that I mean to wag the dog straight from the original topic of discussion or subject matter at hand, but getting back to some of such, you know. And then, you know, there is an even more heightened threat of nuclear war to be compared on to the 60s incident when the late President JFK, John F. Kennedy, and the late Russian president, to be compared onto our own American one. No, that wasn't Joseph Stalin. It was Nikita Khrushchev. And whereas both of the two presidents were contemplating getting in the first strike before the other, you know, as they both represent the two different superpowers of the kind to be considered. And fortunately, you know, one had backed down then for both of them to go at it toe to toe. I mean, it's not being a coward or being considered as a wuss or a wimp to show oneself to be the better man by permitting oneself to be humble, you know. And a compliment to saying, don't take my kindness for weakness, you know. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, none of us, earthlings or humans, if both of those two presidents went at it and just start pushing the atomic or nuclear button to destroy the planet Earth, the world as we know it, you know. Which one backed down? It was Khrushchev when he had witnessed that, you know, Kennedy was not going to back down to his mad barking like a dog or canine with rabies. So he toned it down after a while. And you get to think about North Korea's squint-eyed Adolf Hitler, Kim Jong-un. He barks similar to the late Russian president But his bark is worse than his bite. And I don't think he want to go there and have the whole world become like a big old mushroom cloud anytime too soon. Because no president, premier or dictator for that matter, who still could possibly possess half one's marbles, want the world to end in one big mushroom cloud puff. Whereas we have a lot to work to do. Us Earthlings are humans. I think the aliens from outer space had reminded us that many times, so to speak, aliens from outer space. Suppose the so-called aliens from outer space. You know, I mean, if there are really any, why haven't they really shown themselves to us after all this time? They say that, and speaking upon those matters, now they command that they have been here for something like not just decades, but for centuries. But then it kind of gets you wondering whether or not there are any extraterrestrials at those different facilities. Then, if it has become the atmosphere for its properties is so secretive, like Area 51, Area 52. But then I hear that there are more, of the likes of some as such. I hear there's supposed to be an Area 53 and Area 54. Like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? And then Russia has its own, to compare on to that, the USA, and then some. England has its own, for that matter. For the mother country that supposed had given birth to our own supposed so-called democratic republic of democracy, whereas, you know, rogue cops or corrupt police officials are still popping their, you know, government issue 6 shooters in the brothers' backs. Like they're coming off like the total opposite of Wide Earp and Doc Holliday, you know. And so much for that conversation. You know what I'm saying? But then Black Lives do matter. So I say as a card carrying member to the BPP, the Black Panther Party. You know? Yes. And these are the times we're living in. The changing of the guard. You know, the fluctuating atmosphere of the different governments, countries, and nations. Whereas it's bad enough that to put up with all this climate change, and as these weather temps are not exactly all natural. I mean, if you're going to take something out of the earth, then at least have the common decency to put something back into it, something similar, if not of the same, you know, resources that would heighten the continuous replenishing of the earth, the recycling of the natural resources. You know, they had a proposition, you know, at some given moment in time for a most recent political election, whereas they put down there for the voter to decide how to cast ballot for this one proposition, where it was saying should for a certain vicinity area should we plant more trees or cut down more trees. And whereas when I had seen that on the ballot, I checked plant more trees, because the trees carry oxygen and humans need oxygen. just as much as the different creatures of the animal kingdom. No, we need oxygen just that much more, because we are the stewards of the planet Earth. The dumb animals, they have not been, given charge of the planet like we have, by the creator of the universe. Understand what I'm saying? But then sometimes, compared on to the animals with natural instinct, we as humans come off being more animalistic, And then the compliment not so much the same, but rather biblical passage. To whom much is given, much is required, And not that I would want to come off like a doomsday prophet, especially not the likes of a prosperity preacher, televangelist, God forbid. They just get me thinking. This is one minister, pastor, preacher, man. He gets on there. He's supposed to be calling himself the last day prophet. Hold on. I may have this literature here. I listen to him quite a bit on the radio from time to time. I get to thinking, oh, here we have. I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt, with all things considered, I get to say, we may just have another Jim Jones wannabe. Just another dime a dozen Jim Jones wannabe. And he's always speaking against the USA, I said, where did he get off with all that crap, Here's the address to something. I got to be careful in showing you the letter that I was sent, because if he has my address on it, and I have more than enough stalkers, I don't need any more. Hold up. Okay, here's the address for the top. You see that there? He calls himself the last day prophet. He's supposed to have since passed away. Okay. See that address, you all? That's the name of the church that he was presiding over before somebody else, had replaced him as the pastor to something. Let me look in this envelope. Then I can show you more specific. At the same time, I show you my name and address. Okay, I may have to tear it out after all. My you know what I'm saying? I got my name. I mean, they have my name printed on here, as well as the address where I'm at now. For one of the worst of neighborhoods for a vicinity area within the city limits. So I'm tearing it out, Why would it show you all this here, Okay. Now let me look at the back, make sure that nothing's on there. Okay, I got it tore it out. Okay, check it out though. I think it's like the same address. Yeah, same address that I showed y'all earlier. Okay. And they had the telephone number on the back, though. I was saying. Telephone email or website. Look at that. See, that's the same address now. I'm going to turn it over. Okay. See now? Y'all see that? The telephone numbers and the email and website. See? Is that telephone number, email, and website. He calls himself the last day prophet. Like he's the number one prophet of God. I'm like, oh, come on now. Are you freaking kidding me? Jim Jones had claimed to have become or be some of such. See that there, you all? And at times he be so negatively sarcastic against the very country, being as we have of the United States of America, that guarantees his freedom of speech in accordance to the First Amendment of our Constitution. You know what I'm saying? It's called, let me see it. It's called the Overcomer Ministry. You know, that's what it's called. Well, the church is supposed to be Faith Cathedral Fellowship, Inc. And he's supposed to be called by the name title of Brother Stare. And it's for, it has a P.O. box and the telephone. Oh, the telephone number in there is with the other, with the saying. He has a P.O. box. It's like P.O. Box 691, Walterboro, South Carolina, 29488. Phone number, air code 701 501 5053. You know, and whereas okay, some such other telephone numbers are supposed to be whereas you can listen by phone, whereas the other one you can call in. It's supposed to be the other phone number is supposed to be 1605 dash the 1-605-781-9734, and then there's another 1-641-741-2313, and the website is supposed to be www.overcomerministry.org, and the email is supposed to be lasttimeact@overcomerministry.org. And he's supposed to be a Brother Stare. You know? And one of the theme songs that is incorporated in his broadcast was, like, and he shall reign in the earth, or he shall reign. Another one being, blow the trumpet in Zion. Yeah, he be speaking gloom and doom against the United States of America at times, not all the time. And, you know, and he be talking about, we're making reference to the book of Revelation, the changing of the guard, the changing of the seasons, where you won't be able to tell one season from one another, etc. And I said, but why is you going to speak against the very country that gives you your freedom of speech to complement the First Amendment of our Constitution? That don't sound right. Well, if you don't like the USA so much, then why don't you go ahead and move to Russia? Good luck with that one. You know. But anyway, though, yeah, I hope that you all had, gotten something out of this present social media broadcast, video, whatever you want to make of it. This one, though I didn't give any facts and figures, but I was trying to give you the general idea of what I was saying. Look at it from one point of view, if not another. It was quite informative in its own right. Educational and enlightening, and even so, entertainment. Whether or not any of you all have enjoyed it, well, hopefully you were educated, enlightened by what I was saying. So far, we have got to stop us, that we been among ourselves of earthlings or of humankind, mankind, have got to quit attempting to throw a monkey wrench in Mother Nature's program. Whereas it's bad enough if supposed so-called aliens from outer space be warning us to not send any more that more of our, let's say that, not that I'm an alien from outer space in human form, I'm an angel in disguise, though not demon flesh. Whereas the alien from outer space, the extraterrestrial, were warning us, well, I meant to say correction, that we need, the supposed so-called alien from outer space, that we need to quit sending astronauts, to the different planets, to the moon, for example. They supposedly told us, inform our own American astronauts and possibly Russian cosmonauts that if any of astronauts and cosmonauts go take another visit to the dark side of the moon, there will be severe, serious consequences. Supposed so-called alien from outer space, and where there was supposed to be warning us about how, our different experiments upon our own planet Earth is affecting the other planets within close vicinity for, you know, close or closer galaxies compared to that's for the near ones compared to the ones that are far and distant, but even so affecting some and such as those not all together, throughout the different galaxies of the universe, different galaxies in the solar system of the universe. But then on the last note of intro, I'd like to say, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now. While the blood is still running warm in your veins by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary and Hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some such Roman soldiers up on the orders of their superiors, political as well as, or political so, maybe not as much as religious or religious, political, militaristic, etc. But then nevertheless, he went to that cross of Calvary to become a perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice. But you, as well as for me, don't steal my trademark physical gesture. I have to, that is copyrighted sometime before somebody plagiarizes it. Whereas if any of us being of whatever races and whatever walks of life, fashion of society, lifestyle preferences, being of the old and young alike of both two sexual genders, the males and females, represent not only the human species, but then nevertheless the global community within this post 911 era or new millennial apocalyptic day and age, were to possibly profess some and such faith in him, from there we become or be blessed in one regard or another, more ways one. First and foremost, with his salvation, when we profess faith in him as persons represent not only human species, the global community for this post 911 era, a new millennium of the apocalyptic day and age where the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes to midnight compared on to our formerly period prior to then was a quarter midnight for the rather biblical prophetic time. The second part will be blessed with deliverance. First, you have got to, get his salvation, otherwise you have nothing coming so far as blessings concerned. And if you make that transition for the hereafter afterlife without that being on only fire insurance against the lake of fire, damn hell, being of his blood sacrifice of salvation, then your final destination would be the lake of fire, damn hell, to be assembled with the rest of the unsaved, lost, damn human souls, unsaved, unbelieving, unbelievers, to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and the demons forever, compared to how we as believers in God, as a Christian, aka Protestants, will be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell, in the company of like-minded believers, and in the presence of God and his angels otherwise as citizens of the kingdom of heaven. Even so, be blessed down here upon the planet Earth and in the world while we're still here. Before we make that transition for the hereafter, afterlife. You all take care and be safe. Be blessed, not stressed. Peace and love, joy and happiness. And I hope to holler at you sometime soon enough again. Well, not literally actually holler at you, but I think you get the general idea of what I'm trying to say. As I hope to talk to you then. Until then, we out. Peace.